If you feel like you're being controlled in your romantic relationship, if you feel like you're walking around on eggshells but can't explain why, if you feel trapped, that everybody thinks your partner is great, you might be experiencing coercive control. In this video, we're going to look at 5 signs that your relationship might be coercive control. And by the end, you're going to understand what coercive control is, what it looks like, and what to do about it. First, let's define coercive control. Coercive control is a pattern of behavior designed to make you dependent and compliant. Multiple reoccurring experiences, maybe not the same thing over and over again, but the same category of things over and over again. They feel extremely entitled. They're entitled to know everything about you. They're entitled to having a say in everything that you do. They are entitled to making the choice, not you. What you're wearing, what you eat, where you live, who you talk to, where you go, whether you work or have school or don't. You do not get choice. The 5 signs that we're going to look at for coercive control are 1, isolation from support systems, 2, financial control, 3, constant surveillance and monitoring, 4, rules and punishment systems, and 5, degradation and humiliation. 1, isolation from support systems. This will often show up by them criticizing your friends and family members for the purpose of creating space in there. You know, they won't directly tell you you're not allowed to see this person, at least not originally, maybe further on into your relationship. But originally, it's going to be, well, I think they're a bad influence, or I don't like the way that they talk to you, or I don't like the way blah, 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 whatever. But it'll be framed very often as something protective to you. But in reality, it is a part of a longer game process of pushing all of these people away. Because if they just tell somebody, you can't do this, you can't see this person at the very beginning or early on, you're going to leave. You're not going to stand for it. But if they can plant the seeds and make it seem like it's your idea, I alienated these people, I pushed these people away. And so then when you need those people, when you need that support system, you're not going to go to them. Because you're going to feel ashamed because you pushed those people away. Not he influenced me or she influenced me to do this. No, I did it. I'm the bad guy, right? Even though really it's coercion. And that's part of the danger of this. Other things, monitors your social life. Do they need to go with you? Or do they watch you on Life 360 or some other kind of app like that with or without your knowledge? Do they comment about it, make you feel guilty if you don't take them with you? I show up for our relationship all of the time. I'm here, I'm putting in the work. But you go and spend time with other people. So which one of us is really actually committed to our relationship? So you'll think about it and you'll be like, I mean, I love this person. Obviously, I'm with this person. I don't want them to think that they're the only one that's committed in this relationship, so I'll stay this time. And then they'll do it again and again. And eventually, what was, I'm going to stay this time, will become, I don't remember the last time that I went out with them, or that I went and saw them, or that I called them, or answered their call. And eventually, they'll stop calling because you stop answering. And eventually, you're isolated. Number 2, financial control. And this can look a few different ways. Maybe they're the ones who work and they let you stay home. And that, again, is framed nicely. It's framed like it's a good thing. And I'm not in any way saying that staying home is bad. What I'm saying is that abusers will take something good like that and they will twist it and make it bad. I, because of my experience, will probably not ever stay at home and allow somebody to be the provider again because it has been used against me to trap me. So it might look like them being the ones that do the work. It might not. It might look like you being the one that does the work, but they're paying the bills. They're controlling the money. Or maybe it looks like you go out and make the money and you have to pay the bills and you carry all of the weight of everything, but they're happy to spend the money so that you can never get ahead. You're constantly trying to keep up. This could, like, giving you an allowance. Could look like sabotaging work. Can look like running a debt in your name or charging everything in your name. It can also look like refusing access. When my ex-husband was the one working, he had the bank account. I didn't know what money we had. I didn't know what he was paying. I didn't even know what bills we had. I was not allowed access to anything. Having to ask for permission to go buy groceries. Or I've known women who have to account for every grocery that they buy, and they're not allowed to buy things that their abuser doesn't want. So those are some examples of the financial abuse that is tied to coercive control. And the reason for that is that it creates financial instability. It is so much harder to leave an abuser when you don't have the financial ability to leave. And if you have kids and you don't have the financial ability to provide for them, that's why lots and lots of people stay and or go back. 3, constant surveillance and monitoring. Now it is extremely easy to track your car. It's extremely easy to have somebody put something on your phone to track your phone without your knowledge. They can do it with your knowledge too. And they can frame it like, well, I just want to know that you're safe. I want to know where you are for this or that. I also have experience with them just tracking me through other people. I don't know if they sent people to where they knew I was going to be or if they just followed my vehicle, but I would get reports at the end of the day about the things that I did and the people that I talked to and for how long I talked to people, especially guys. Can be that they demand passwords or access. We are a couple. There should be no secrets between us, so you should give me access to all of your social media accounts, to your bank, everything. I guarantee you they do, but you are not allowed to because that's part of the control thing. Could be showing up at your work, could be showing up at your gym or your church or places that you would normally hang out. It's stalking. It can look like interrogating you on details. Like I said, one of my exes did when he'd have people follow me, having you give a report of how you spent your time in a day and who did you talk to and where did you go and why, etc. And it can look like accusations. And by far, the most common accusation that I know of that abusers will do is that you're cheating on them. Number 4, rules and punishment systems. They can create rules about the way you dress, your behavior, who you talk to. They can punish with silent treatment, with withholding affection, with threats, with insults, public humiliation, telling your friends and family things that would be embarrassing to you, etc. And none of those things leave bruises. They're extremely painful and very effective for controlling behavior. Because you might make that mistake once. You're probably not going to do it again. You're going to be extremely hypervigilant and overly aware of everything that you say and everything that you do, especially around them, but even when they're not around, because you don't want to do something that might get back to them, that somehow they might find out, because they're going to find out because they surveil me or whatever, to cause them to be upset, because it might cause problems in your relationship. You just won't. Like over time, that gets built up in you. And the thing is that a romantic relationship is supposed to be a partnership. This isn't a parent-child relationship. There's not supposed to be control and somebody who's being controlled, right? Because you should do it like this so you can see it instead of, but it's supposed to be equal. That's what a partnership is. That's what a romantic relationship is supposed to actually look like, which I don't know about you, but for me, I did not know that for a long time. Nobody ever told me that. It wasn't even necessarily modeled for me, and it certainly was not what I accepted. And there's training involved in this. This is a process, right? It is a pattern of behavior. It is not about one incident, and it trains you. And especially if you've had more than one abusive relationship, which many victims do, those training is they get entrenched in your mind. And that's the intent. Number 5, which can be a punishment, degradation and humiliation. This destroys self-worth. And sometimes it can be wrapped up in the idea of it being constructive criticism or I'm just trying to help. Sometimes they don't care enough. It depends, again, on how long you've been together, how far into this abuse process you are. I was told that I was disgusting and that nobody was ever going to want me. And that was 100,000,000% not true, but I believed it. And that was the whole point. We were a ways into our relationship, and he had been making me feel like I was nothing for so long that I could not see anything positive in me anymore. All I could see was everything that he pointed out that was negative. And it took a long time to heal from that. When I left that relationship, Christina Perry's song Jar of Hearts happened to be released somewhere in that general time frame. She showed this guy in this video just suck the souls out of people. And that was what I felt like I had the soul sucked out of me. Some people will publicly mock or correct revenge porn. I've heard of people putting ads on like Facebook Marketplace of their significant other or their ex selling their body for drugs or whatever that was not accurate, and putting their phone number and or their address and things like that. This stuff is very damaging and can put them in lots of danger, and they know that, and they're doing that on purpose. So all of those things fall into this category too, and there's probably so many more. When this happens when you're together, the goal is to make you feel small so you won't leave. What to do about it? Let's talk about documentation. Keep a journal. The date, the time, what happened, how it made you feel, and any other kind of details, and any witnesses if there are. If you have that will hold up in court. Screenshot controlling texts. Take photos of any kind of evidence. Videos even better. Log financial control. Courts need the pattern. They need to see in some form or fashion the documentation that it's not a one-time incident or somebody having a bad day, but it is a pattern of control over time. And save these safely. I would say with somebody else online and in person. Know the red flags. I will put a red flags video up here. Go look at it if you haven't. It's important. If you don't know these red flags, you don't know what to look out for. And you can't identify them when they come up. And you don't know that you need to get safe right now if you don't know that those things are a thing. Don't announce that you're going to leave. The most dangerous times for an abuse victim is when they're leaving and for the first 12 months after they leave. As far as I'm concerned, that clock starts when they become aware that you're leaving. Like the amount of women and children that I have seen murdered that were planning to leave or planning to divorce, but they hadn't actually left yet. There's a lot of them. It is not a safe time. Pack a go bag, things that are really important for you to leave with. If not, original documents, copies of birth certificates, marriage license, shot records, social security card, driver's license, whatever things that you need. Medications that are necessary for you. When I left, I needed all of our baby stuff. And obviously that did not all go in a go bag. But if you're just doing a go bag, then bottles, wipes, formula, diapers, things that you're going to need in an immediate time frame. Again, that's going to depend on what you're able to do. And if you have a safe place to hide that, because if they find it, it's a red flag for them. You're taking your independence back and they're going to lose you. And that I'm going to lose her time period is when they get really dangerous, really, really dangerous. Create a safety plan. I have a video for that too. I will put that here. One of the sides. If you're not ready to leave, that's okay. Leaving is a process. You start leaving before you ever leave. Mentally preparing and emotionally preparing, and you're planning, safety planning, and creating a support system, and packing a go bag, and all of these things. And I will not be somebody that's going to tell you, shame on you for staying, because I understand the very real and legitimate reasons that people stay. But I will tell you that there are two types of abusers generally that murder their significant others. One of them is the physically abusive one that most people think of, right? And the other is somebody who puts all of their identity into you, into the relationship, into the position that it gives them as a father or a husband or whatever. And those are very often coercive control people. Often those are murder-suicides because they're like, if I can't have this, I don't know how to live without it, so I'm just going to take it all. And those can be no physical violence ahead of time, seeming like a perfectly caring kind of person, but maybe it's just some little red flags here and there that are going to fall into these coercive control behaviors because they're trying to protect what they have created their identity around. And to them, that's protection of that, not of you, of the thing, of the identity thing. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you feel more empowered through the education. I'm going to leave you with the Domestic Violence Hotline is a resource, 1-800-799-7233. You can text START to get them also. That's 88788. And you can get information on the resources that I've created in the description below, including the Does He Scare You quiz, which will go through like a summary of those different red flags if you want to do it that way instead. Until I see you again, please stay safe.